Hello, and welcome to the Love is Stronger Than Fear podcast. I'm Amy Julia Becker, and this is Season 1, Prepare Him Room, Advent Reflections. I'm so happy you're here with me to consider what happens when God shows up in the midst of the eggnog, gift wrap, holiday cards, tinsel, and let's be honest, the stress and the joy of this time of year. Thank you for listening. Today's episode is a special bonus episode of this podcast. I hope it will give you a sense of where we'll be headed together this Advent season. This podcast itself emerged from an ebook I published a few years ago with reflections for every day of Advent. You can find that if you're interested in it at amyjuliabecker.com under the resources section. It's free. And you could read along every day with this podcast or use it in some separate way. But this is a bonus episode because it cannot be found in the ebook. Still, it sets the stage for the theme of our time together as we prepare for love to show up. Yes, we are preparing for love to show up on Christmas morning in the form of a baby boy. But we are also longing for love to show up in the midst of the everyday stress and mess and wonder and joy of the holiday season. So today's episode is called "'Tis the Season for Stress." I woke up at 4:32 this morning. I had set the alarm for 5:30, but my body seemed to think that would not do. There was the knowledge that American Girl orders had to be processed by today in order to ensure delivery by Christmas. There was the overflowing email inbox. There was the intention to exercise regularly throughout this season, especially after 2 nights in a row and early on in the week, no less, with parties that involved 2 glasses of wine. 'Tis the season for stress. And yet I also love this time of year. Yes, I love the lights on the trees and the scent of wood-burning fires and the almond cake our neighbors send. Yes, I love the cards and music and festivities. Yes, I love Marilee's elf pajamas and William's carol of the bells on the piano and Penny's desire to buy gifts for all her friends. But beneath it all, beneath the noise and lights and clutter and busyness, I also love the story of the baby in the manger, the story of God with us. I've been thinking this year about what this phrase, God with us, actually means. It comes from the word Emmanuel, first mentioned in the Old Testament book of Isaiah, and later given to Jesus by Matthew. John hints at the same idea when he says about Jesus that the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. I have been thinking about how easy it is to pretend to be with other people. I pretend to be with our kids every time I nod as if I'm listening, but wander away in my thoughts or allow my eyes to linger on my phone. In the years when we considered moving into a low-income, predominantly African-American neighborhood, I wondered whether in moving there I would be pretending to be with those neighbors, pretending to experience life in a different socioeconomic sphere. I imagined transporting myself with the furniture and paintings that we've inherited from grandparents, transporting myself into a new house and a new location, and I wondered whether I would really be moving into the neighborhood or just pretending to be there, and then heading off for a vacation with my family. I remember hearing a story about a missionary who went to a leper colony in order to tell the lepers about Jesus. According to that story, it was only once that missionary contracted leprosy himself, only when he was truly with them, that he understood them and that they listened to him. God with us. God not pretending, but actually living with us. Not going on vacation from being human. Not escaping the reality of poverty and discomfort and danger, but fully immersing himself in human suffering and joy, learning and loving. God with us from birth to death. And so I get to the end of days that feel consumed by incidental stresses. Wrapping paper, gingerbread houses, remembering to pay the life insurance bill. And I consider what it means for Jesus to be with me in this, in the waking up early and the to-do list and the food and drink, in the busyness and the stress and the delight of it. I pray for Christ to once again enter in to the humanity of my sleepless nights and my anxious days, to be with me where I am. And I trust that somehow His presence will change me. He is willing to be with me where I am, but He also invites me to be with Him where He is. He invites me out of 4:30 wake-ups and into rest, out of relentless to-do lists and into peace, out of overindulgence and into joy.
Thanks for listening to Season 1 of the Love is Stronger Than Fear podcast, Prepare Him Room. For more information, including a free PDF version of Prepare Him Room, go to www.amyjuliabecker.com. While you're there, you can also find out about Amy Julia's books, White Picket Fences, Small Talk, and A Good and Perfect Gift, and when she'll be speaking in your area. Thanks again for listening, and please do consider reviewing this podcast wherever you got it, and please share it with someone else who might enjoy it.